Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of Greatlocs. I'm Gunther the Great, and today we're revealing the last two people in the top 10 best dreadlocks. So who do you guys think it is? I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see your guys' reaction to the number one person. I'm even surprised a bit. But before we get into today's video, make sure to comment down below who you think is in the number one position. And then also, before we get into it, make sure to pick yourself up a locking bundle from Greatlocs.com. It's basically a way you can instantly lock up your dreadlocks if you're having trouble with it. If you're having trouble locking up your hair or anything like that, or if you just want to start dreadlocks, make sure to go to Greatlocs and pick yourself up a locking bundle. It comes with a crochet needle and an interlocking tool, and these are tools that instantly lock up your hair. And we do have a sale going on right now, so you guys can pick those up for a very low price, and you're saving yourself hundreds to maybe even thousands of dollars versus going to a loctician. So you guys have seen this from the very beginning with Scrim all the way to Black to Javaya to Icy Narco to Bill Saber to Lil Pump to Scarlord to all these other people in the top 10 list. But who comes runner up? Who's in the number 2 position? Comment down below who you guys think it is. All right, the person in the number 2 position is NLE Choppa. If you guessed NLE Choppa, hats off to you guys. But NLE Choppa has some really dope looking dreadlocks, and I'm not even gonna talk too much about it. Let's just get straight into it. But you guys, NLE Choppa has a really interesting set of dreads. They look like freeforms, but they're actually not. A lot of people think that they are freeform dreadlocks, but I'm about to explain some things to you that will help you if you want to get your dreadlocks to look like his, or if you're starting dreadlocks and you want to start them out like he did. Now, looking at his hair, it looks like it is freeform, and you could call this hairstyle, I guess, semi-freeform. And we'll label semi-freeform as anything that doesn't have the dreadlocks maintained all the way down to the root, which that's kind of how his hair is. Now I'm gonna tell you guys the simple trick and the fact on how to get your dreads like him. The best way to tell how someone got their dreadlocks is look at their hair type. And looking at someone's hair type kind of narrows down how they got their dreadlocks. And so looking at yourself as your hair type, it narrows down what method you should choose in order to get your dreads. So with NLE Choppa, his hair type is most likely a 4B, maybe a 4A or somewhere in there. So that narrows it down on what methods he could choose. Now what I mean by that, he's not going to be using twist and rip. He's not going to be using, interlocking or anything like that. That is more on the straighter curl pattern. That eliminates all that, even though there are more options with the tighter curl patterns. But here it is, guys. The way to get your dreadlocks like NLE Choppa is to do Bantu knots. Now what are Bantu knots? They're literally just twisting your hair and keep on twisting. It's like twisting with gel, but you're twisting it all the way down until it turns into like a little ball. So that's literally all you do, is do Bantu knots and then undo them. And over time, that'll eventually lock up. And I'm telling you guys, this is an easy way to do it because all the time, it kind of just looks maintained. And it's actually a really cool way to maintain your hair. Now, Bantu knots is actually another good way to actually put a bunch of nutrients into your hair if you plan on doing any external oils or, anything like that. Because in the knots, just as if you were to put in braids, when you're putting oils and stuff into your braids, it holds the product in your hair a whole lot better. But yeah, guys, it's really plain and simple. He has we'll say 4B hair type. He does the Bantu knots. He undoes the Bantu knots, and that's how his hair looks when he takes the Bantu knots out. It'll hold its form really well because he has such a tight curl pattern. Now, if you have a looser curl pattern, it's not going to hold as well. And if you have a straight hair, it's not going to hold at all, really. And that's just a heads up for all you guys out there that want to try this method. It's mostly best if you have a tighter curl pattern. Now, this does work in the 3s as far as the hair types, but when you get into the 2s and even straight hair with a 1, it's not going to be as efficient or effective. There's other methods for those hair types, and I've explained those in other videos, so just stay tuned with my channel and I'll help you out, I promise. But we'll even include the 3s in this one. Concerning the 3s all the way to the 4s as far as the hair types, if you guys don't know your hair type by any chance, you can click the link down below that says what is my hair type. It'll explain everything directly to you. But with this range of hair types from 3s to 4s, you can do the Bantu knots and then undo them, and your hair will look similar to his. And eventually, over time, those Bantu knots, after you take them out, they will eventually lock up. So it's really cool to see how he maintains his dreadlocks by doing Bantu knots. And it's a very effective way to maintain the frizz on your dreadlocks. It also helps tighten them up, which is obviously maintaining the frizz. But besides that, the moment you all have been waiting for, the number 1 position, who has the best dreadlocks? And I'm gonna give you guys like 5 seconds to guess. Comment down below who you guys think it's gonna be. All right, guys, in my opinion, I think the person who has the best set of dreadlocks, even though he doesn't have them anymore, The best set of dreadlocks was SWAE. He had some of the dopest dreadlocks in the game. He was actually the first ever dreadlock review I've ever done, and it was before I even started the Greatlocs YouTube channel, and back then that was actually called Guns Locked, but it was before Guns Locked was even out. So this was a long time ago, and in my opinion, he just has some of the dopest dreadlocks. So let's take a look at this video right here. So we are looking at this first photo right here. You can see that his hair is really messy. It's not very maintained whatsoever. You can see that he probably started with towel rub or sponge rub. There's not really maintenance done with his hair. You can see that some of his tips are blunted off, some of them are skinny, some of them are thick, but mostly up here it's super messy. You can see that some are dropping in the back, and this is when he did have the mohawk. I'm not sure if he still has a mohawk now, but we can tell in further photos. I just wanted to show this photo to show you guys how far his dreadlocks have came. There has been a lot of maintenance done on his dreadlocks so far, and his dreadlocks are turning out really good. One of the best dreadlocks in the game for sure. But we're gonna move on to this other photo right here, which is a little bit more down the line. His hair is getting way more mature. You can just see that his hair is actually looking like dreadlocks rather than freeforms. They still do look a little bit freeform just because of everything that's going on. You can see that there's a Congo right here. You can see that there's some skinny back here, some are thick, some are still standing up, they're very frizzy. And this all comes with low maintenance, which there wasn't that much maintenance going on during the beginner stages of his locks. But I did notice after he started popping a little bit more, they were maintained for a little bit. I didn't get any of those photos when his hair was starting to be maintained a little bit more. Moving on to this one, you can see that this was honestly my favorite stage of his dreadlocks, where he has it dip dyed and he got it bleached. Not blonde and not platinum blonde, but it's kind of just like a bleached color, which is pretty much just like the bronze color. You can see that his hair is dip dyed and it looks really, really, really cool. This is when his hair started getting a lot of length. All of his hair was pretty much the same size, so whoever did his hair made it look really good. His hair was super cylindrical, super nice looking, but overall just looked really, really nice around everything. Moving on to another photo, you can see that his hair is still dip dyed. It does have like a bronzy color to it, but overall I think bronze looks okay with dreadlocks. Or African American hair. Bronze looks really good in African American hair. So when you bleach your hair, it kind of turns a bronze color. You would have to put toner in it to actually get it to a blonde, a platinum blonde, or anything lighter than a bronze color. But they are very bronze. You can see that some back here are brighter, and that just comes from washing your hair, being out in the sun. Nothing else, unless he did actually put toner in a few of them, but left the rest the same. But I don't know about you guys, but I can definitely agree with myself that his dreadlocks look the best in this stage right here. I don't know if I'm bold enough to actually dip dye my hair, or even dye my hair at all, but when I see other people who dye their hair and it looks really good, just like SWAE did his hair, it looks A1 since day one. But if you do fast forward probably about a year, he did cut his bangs. He actually cut his dreadlocks. And as you guys do know, Slim Jimmy, he actually had dreadlocks too, which is in the group right here with SWAE. He cut his dreadlocks not too long ago, but really random how he cut his dreadlocks. But hey, he probably just got tired of them. It is really interesting how SWAE wanted to go with this Rick James kind of look with the bangs and then the long sides and everything. He does have a few of them braided, but overall, his dreadlocks are all super cylindrical, all the same size, and it's crazy to see how his dreadlocks came this far from being freeform or like semi-freeform. And moving on to this last photo, you can tell that his hair is super maintained, no frizziness whatsoever. You can't see any frizziness, but his bangs are growing out a little longer, and he does kind of have them cut to where it's like short in the middle, and then they start getting longer down the edge. So guys, what do you think about my list of the top 10 best dreadlocks? And if you guys do agree with me, just give a bunch of thumbs up in the comment section down below. And if you don't agree with me, make a top 10 list down below, and I want to read your guys' as well. But if you want to see more series like this to where I combine a bunch of people in one video, make sure to comment down below that you would like to see more of these. And I'll create new ones. I'm not just going to replay old videos. But guys, this is the list that I came up with, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And I thought this was really cool to do throughout the last 2 weeks. And I really enjoy doing series because it allows you guys to look forward to something. But you guys, that is all the time we have for this entire series. I'm excited to do the next one. Make sure to comment down below what you guys would like to see next. And don't forget to comment down below your top 10 list down below of best dreadlocks. So make sure to go check out Greatlocs.com if you want to pick yourself up a locking bundle and save yourself hundreds to even thousands of dollars versus going to a loctician. You guys can do your dreadlocks yourself. I've shown you multiple times on multiple videos. If you have straight hair, if you have coarse hair, whatever you have, you can do it yourself. And it's very easy to do with these tools. So save yourself some money, and we're actually doing a sale right now, so make sure to pick them up as soon as possible. And also don't forget to go check out the Greatlocs Instagram page, give us a follow and join the family. We just reached 20,000 followers, and I look at you guys as a community and a family versus just followers or a number, because we all get to communicate and see each other's dreadlocks, and it's really cool. But you guys, that is the end of the series, and it was really fun to do. But other than that, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the whole thing, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.